Are you looking forward to your next job interview, or are you nervous? Job interviews can provoke all kinds of emotions, anything between excitement and dread. I've been in the world of work for about 50 years. I've worked for more than 20 employers, so I've had to attend dozens of interviews. Some have been informal chats with one person over the phone, while others have been formal, face-to-face interviews in front of a panel of 2 or more interviewers. Some have involved technical or practical tests, while others have been entirely verbal. My success rate at interviews has been high. I've managed to remain employed for nearly half a century, and the only breaks I've had have been short. In this video, I'm going to give you some tips based on my experiences. If you remember this advice, you'll increase your chances of making the right impression and getting that job offer. This is one in a series of videos about the world of work, so if you've got any questions you'd like me to answer, post them in the comments below. What is an interview? Let's start with a reminder of what an interview is or should be. An interview is a chance for a prospective employer to find out more about you and why you want to work for their company. They want to find out if you have the right skills for the job or if you could be trained to do it. And they will also want to find out if you'll fit into the existing team. But it's more than that. It's also a chance for you to find out more about the role and your prospects within it. You'll have the opportunity to ask questions that score you more points if you phrase them correctly. Interviews are a dialogue, and the questions and answers should flow in both directions. How do you prepare for an interview? Now that you know what an interview is, how can you best prepare for your next interview? First, do some research about the company. Start with their website and read through the history, the About Us page, and the Meet the Team page. This should be enough to give you an understanding of the company's culture and mission. Think about some questions you might like to ask about the company itself, not just your role within it. Questions like that show you've taken an interest in where the company is going, not just your personal ambitions. Next, prepare for the interview itself. Obviously, a lot is going to depend on the job role. A part-time job at a local cafe might involve just one face-to-face interview. But if you're going for a full-time role in a senior position, you might be asked to attend 2 or more interviews. Since remote or hybrid working has become widely accepted, the first interview might be a video call on Teams or similar. From the employer's point of view, this saves time and filters out unsuitable candidates, but it means you have less chance of making a good impression. You may have heard it said that we communicate with both verbal and non-verbal clues. What this means is that we talk, but we also say a lot with our body language, and video calls sometimes hide that body language. Video calls often mean we're not making eye contact with each other. Video calls often mean we're not making eye contact with each other, so they are less than ideal from a communication point of view. So, to make the most of your video call, put some thought into how you appear on screen. Make the best of your appearance, your clothes and your hair. By that I mean tidy it up and look presentable, but don't overdo it. You're not going out on a date, but you don't want to look too informal either. Don't wear any headgear and minimize or remove jewelry. Make sure you're not going to be disturbed by family members, pets or ringing telephones. Neutralize the background in Teams or blur out any distracting personal effects. Position your laptop, phone or webcam so that it's optimized for a face-to-face conversation. For example, you might want to raise your laptop up on a stand so that the camera is raised to eye level. Adjust your chair position, limber up a little, and relax with some deep abdominal breathing. If you haven't spoken for an hour or so, say a few things out loud to yourself to loosen your jaw and to remove any croaks in your voice. Clear your throat and get into a poised position both physically and mentally. What happens during the interview itself? A video interview is likely to begin with some small talk and introductions if the interviewer has someone else on the call. This might be someone else on his or her team who is there to observe and perhaps throw in a few questions of their own. The interviewer might then begin with summarizing the job role or going through it in more detail. And they might explain how the applications will be processed and what will happen in the next stage if you get through this one. Once they've done that, then they will probably proceed with the questions, the part we tend to think of as the actual interview. So here are 6 common questions that interviewers often ask. Tell me about yourself. This is usually an icebreaker and a chance for you to summarize your background experience and what you bring to this interview. What are your strengths and weaknesses? Interviewers want to understand your self-awareness and how you handle challenges. Why do you want to work here? This tests your knowledge of the company and your motivation for applying. Can you describe a challenging situation and how you handled it? This behavioral question assesses your problem-solving and interpersonal skills. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? This helps employers gauge your career goals and whether they align with the company's direction. Why should we hire you? This is your opportunity to highlight your unique qualifications and fit for the role. As you can tell, these are standard questions that could be used for any job. Now that you are aware of them, you should prepare for your interview by preparing and rehearsing your answers. What happens next? Let's assume you've passed stage 1 and the company has invited you to attend a second interview in person. First of all, give yourself a pat on the back. They saw something they liked and they want to take things further. Turn any apprehension into excitement and look forward to the chance to shine in person. The employer should inform you about the format of the next interview. If they haven't done so, or if you're not sure, just ask. You won't lose any points by asking what will happen. They may see it as a good sign that you're planning. Next, plan your route and ensure that you arrive at the location in good time. It's better to sit in a car park with 20 minutes to spare than to arrive 5 minutes late. Put the company's number into your phone so that if you are held up en route despite all your careful planning, you can quickly call them to explain your situation. Aim to arrive in the reception area with about 15 minutes to spare. This will give you enough time to sign in and perhaps be issued with a visitor badge and to sit for a few minutes to compose yourself. Eventually, someone will arrive to take you to the interview itself. Remember to stand up to greet them and to shake their hand while making eye contact. Has your pulse rate increased? That's normal, so don't be embarrassed. Once you reach the interview location, there may be others present. Greet each one of them, make eye contact with them and smile, and if it's appropriate, shake hands. Try to form a connection with everyone there to show that you've acknowledged them and you recognize their presence. Once the meeting and greeting is complete, the interview itself can begin. This might be another set of questions from one or more of the people present. It might be a short presentation. It might include a set of pre-printed subject matter questions that require you to write down your answers. Or it could be a combination of these. Obviously, you're going to do the best you can, but don't be tempted to exaggerate or worse, tell lies. Don't just tell them what you think they want to hear, as your guess may be way off. Answer the questions fully while addressing the questioner directly, but don't drone on too much with detail. When it's all over, thank them for their time and tell them you're looking forward to hearing from them again. Then it's just a matter of making your way home and waiting for news. Watch out for my next videos in which I will cover things like how to make the most of that first day and first weeks in a new job. In the meantime, good luck with your interview, and don't forget to post any questions you have in the comments below.